in through southern Alberta, and a new low pressure system has developed, and there's a good chance that through the day Saturday, Calgary could pick up 5 to 10 millimeters of rain. There's also the risk for thunderstorms along this trough. So in Alberta through extreme southern Saskatchewan, we have painted you in yellow, where our meteorologists believe there is a good chance of seeing thunder showers through the day, nothing too severe, and that risk will extend through the interior of BC as well. So there's certainly the risk for some thunderstorms, but the better chance for actual rain looks to be in around Calgary. Now, speaking of rain showers continue in Ontario with this low pressure system. There's also the risk for thunderstorms embedded with all of this rain. Most of us seeing, I'd say, about 10 millimeters of rain on average. A little bit heavier amounts through the Nickel Belt. And again, some isolated thunderstorms certainly not out of the question. That risk for thunderstorms actually extends all the way through the Maritimes. There's still a little bit of instability, especially for New Brunswick. So again, through Saturday afternoon and evening, an isolated thunderstorm may pop up. Now, while we're in the east, some of us have been experiencing October. It's been fall. Now, there's still going to be the few odd showers, especially in through PEI and really Cape Breton as this trough, this area of instability pushes toward Newfoundland through the day on Saturday, but there's not much rain left with it. We still have that instability, though, through the Maritimes. So even though it's going to be an okay day, there is the risk for a few pop-up thunder showers, especially in New Brunswick, Saturday afternoon and evening. So you can see that there in Fredericton. We have you in the risk for showers still. I wouldn't rule out a thunder shower, but they should stay very isolated. And again, we're looking at more showers returning. It's a fairly unsettled forecast, except in around St. John's and the Avalon. It looks like you should stay dry until about late Monday into Tuesday when the next system moves in. That's not to say your temperatures are great. You're going to stay below seasonal right through the long-range forecast. Speaking of below seasonal, we still are this weekend in southern Ontario, but gradually getting better. It's this low-pressure system that brings rain, a general 10 millimeters for most of us, locally 20-25 millimeters through the Nickel Belt. And then we also have that risk for thunderstorms associated with it. So Saturday, not as great as Sunday. And you can see here and around Toronto, I'd give Sunday the better day of the weekend if you have any outdoor plans. Now, don't go anywhere. Coming up in our next segment in across Alberta over the last several weeks, it's that time of year we get these thunderstorms, hail, strong winds, heavy rain, and a lot of lightning. And again, on Friday evening, there was prevalent lightning across Alberta and Saskatchewan, especially further to the south. But let's take a look as we head into Saturday morning. A few of those thunderstorms, especially along the border areas, will likely continue. They should stay non-severe in nature, but that's just a heads up if you do have to get up very early on Saturday morning and head out to work. Do be prepared for a possible thunder shower or two, but the better chance is going to be through the day. On Saturday, we could see those thunderstorms firing back up again, and I can show you the next several days ahead. I mean, in around Edmonton, for example, you'll stay mild, a little bit of humidity lingering around. Calgary, a few degrees cooler because you have a better chance of the cloud cover and rain. For Saturday, we're forecasting 5 to 10 millimeters in the Calgary area, and Winnipeg probably has one of the nicest weekends in the entire country. Temperatures around the mid-20s and plenty of sunshine. Now, speaking of sunshine, I mean, there'll be in around Vancouver, slight chance of a shower as we head into early Saturday morning, but getting increasingly sunny throughout the weekend. I mean, it'll be a mix of sun and clouds for the most part. Through the interior, though, we have that chance of thunder showers continuing. They should stay very isolated and generally non-severe in nature, but the coast looks dry really through the long-range forecast. And a lot of those air quality advisories have come to an end in the south, and we still have a few lingering in around Prince George. So that's something to keep in mind if you do have respiratory illnesses. And this has been going on for weeks, so you know the drill at this point in time. There's Vancouver. Early showers, more sunshine through the day, and not a bad-looking Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right through the long-range forecast. Now, don't go anywhere. Coming up in our next segment, we have cool videos like this as a pleasant day as far as sunshine was concerned. Toronto got up to about 22 degrees, so getting closer to that 26-degree average. It was better than about 18 degrees back on Thursday. Temperatures will continue to rise slightly over the next few days in southern Ontario, but we also have showers and thunderstorms moving in. Across Ontario, your better day this weekend is definitely going to be Sunday, but you can see this low-pressure system continues to track further and further east. We are looking at showers, very unsettled conditions in the Maritimes all weekend long. Risk for thunderstorms in Alberta and Saskatchewan for Saturday and for Sunday as well. That risk continues with showers and embedded thunderstorms. And then you finally clear out for Monday. It's kind of a day break because everything returns again for Tuesday. But finally in Manitoba, rain and thunderstorms for Monday because you actually have one of the nicest forecasts this weekend across the entire country. Vancouver and Winnipeg, the two places to be, I think. Now, don't go anywhere. Coming up in our next segment, we'll update you on some international weather stories. Well, here's another fact about Canada. the CNE, the Canadian National Exhibition, is on over the next 2 weeks up until Labor Day weekend. If you're in the Toronto area, it's definitely something you should check out. Unfortunately, showers and thunderstorms through the day Saturday right across southern and central Ontario and Alberta and Saskatchewan. Storms when you're out having a good time. And how mouth-watering are some of these? I don't even want to say food because there are always these new ideas. They come out with, the cronut burger and this and that. I don't even know what's the big food choice this year. I'm sure Emily Vukovic will be out there trying it and sharing it with the rest of the GTA. Unfortunately, if you are heading to the X on Saturday, there is a slight chance of a shower and thunderstorm as we head through the day, and it's more so later in the afternoon. Best chance for severe cells will be in around the shores of Georgian Bay and Lake Huron. It's all associated with this low pressure system sinking south, and we'll really break it down in a moment, but it's important to drive safely in these kinds of conditions, and Kasia has some tips for you. Thank you very much, Kasia. Quick look at Saturday morning. Toronto, mostly cloudy skies, and then into the afternoon, we do have the risk for showers. That extends all the way up to cottage country. Don't go anywhere. Kim will join us next. Thank you very much, Kim. And I wish that we had better news to pass along for our forecast this weekend. The good news I can give you is that Sunday looks better. Mix of sun and clouds, dry conditions, and temperatures in the low 20s, feeling like the mid 20s when you factor in the humidity. Saturday's not a great day, not a total washout, although if you're heading to the cottage, 15, 25 millimeters of rainfall, locally heavier amounts when you factor in thunderstorms. So it could be quite messy out there. And then as we take a look at the long range forecast, yes, Saturday we're looking at rain showers, but high pressure moves in Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all looking great. Temperatures aren't as warm as some of us may want, 25 to 30 degrees. We're going to stay around 22, 23 degrees for daytime highs over at least the next week before things start to warm back up again. And as I mentioned, it's looking no better through cottage country, Huntsville toward North Bay, Haliburton, Collingwood. Temperatures sometimes not even hitting 20 degrees and rain showers continuing through the day. But slightly warmer for Sunday and at least drier conditions if you are heading up to the cottage, maybe Sunday through next week. Now stay with us if you can. 4-kilometer stretch in around the Burns Lake area because of the wildfires, and it should reopen in the next day or two. The good news is a lot of the air quality advisories in the south have come to an end. They're still in effect, though, in around Prince George. And then specifically in the north, when we're talking about northern Canada, we're talking about nearly 3 million hectares of land burned. This is a huge story because it's affecting such a large area. You can compare that to the size of, say, Vancouver Island, just to give you some perspective. And then to give you more perspective, it's been a really quiet forest fire year in Ontario. We've only seen about 4,600 hectares of land burned, so that's the good news. It's not so busy everywhere. Southern Ontario, especially on a Friday in the summer. That was a lot of traffic on Highway 400 there. Now, unfortunately, if you are heading up to the cottage at some point this weekend, Saturday, I don't want to say is a washout, but it's going to be a rainy and cooler day. Not the best weekend to be up at the cottage, but those rain showers make it all the way here to the GTA as well and extending toward Kitchener, Guelph, and the Cambridge area. Now, that being said, there is a risk for thunderstorms as well. The best chance for severe cells along the shores of Georgian Bay and Lake Huron. For the most part, they are going to be very isolated and should predominantly be non-severe in nature. In around Toronto, across the GTA, we're thinking a good 10 millimeters of rain is a good benchmark for most of us, and that really will fall mostly through the afternoon and through the night. Sunday's not looking like a bad day, though. If you were to choose between the 2 days and you think, I'm going to take the kids out to the park one day this weekend, Sunday's looking like the day to do it. Saturday, not so much. You can see humidex values in the mid to upper 20s. We don't really rebound in temperatures right through the 7-day forecast, so they're going to stay in the low 20s right through the next week. Do not go anywhere. Coming up in our next